Great, so good morning everyone. I'm really glad that you came in today. This morning we're going to be learning about the difference between objective and subjective statements. Has anyone heard that term before? Yeah? Okay. So I have a warm-up for all of you, and all you have to do is try and guess. And so on the line, write if the statement is objective or subjective based on what you already know about the topic. You're so welcome. Alright, great. And if you haven't finished just yet, that's okay. You can fill in while we give our answers. So who knows the answer to number 1? Yes.
I think it's subjective.
Yes. Good. Alright. That's okay. That's okay. This is the warm-up. So you're just testing what you know, and then we're going to go over it a lot more in depth in a minute. What about number 2? Yeah.
Subjective.
Subjective. Yes, exactly right. Number 3?
Objective.
Objective. Mm-hmm. Wow, you guys already know this. You're like high school ready. Great job. Okay, so I have up here learning targets. So who wants to read number 1? Yeah, go for it.
I can explain the difference between objective and subjective statements.
Great. And number 2. Yeah.
I can find and identify objective and subjective statements in written material.
Yep, exactly right. So we're going to differentiate between objective and subjective statements today and figure out what that means for us. Why do you think this might be important now in our world today? Yeah.
There's like a lot of people in like articles or something that are stating different things and you learn about the objective or subjective.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly right. Who's heard the term fake news? Yeah, everyone, right? And so who has ever read an article and you thought it was real and then you found out later it wasn't? I know I have, and I've been totally guilty of that. So the better we can differentiate between objective and subjective statements, the more prepared we are to face those types of things, as well as the more prepared we are to write our own statements. So maybe if you're going to be a lawyer someday, or if you're going to be a writer someday, or a scientist, you're going to want to know the difference between writing subjective, which is more opinions, and objective, which is more facts. So this is going to be kind of a fun activity. I need 2 volunteers to start. Yeah, you 2 guys. And you can write a word or 2 under objective or subjective, just based on what you know about it, and then pass it off to someone else. We're going to make a word cloud of what we know about these 2 things. Yeah, so you can go ahead and say subjective if you want.
I'll take it.
This is how you spell it.
1 N. What are you trying to say?
I thought you were.
Like it's usually like, like a lot of times it's like numbers like you ate 4 cookies today. Like that's like a general
Like a
statement.
statistic?
Like a statistic.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Just 2.
Okay.
Usually just do
Or you just be fine.
I don't know. So we were going to use a PowerPoint, but we don't have PowerPoint in here. So I'm just going to read the definitions from dictionary.com. So objective, the dictionary definition, is not influenced by personal feelings, interpretations, or prejudice. It's based on facts and it's unbiased. And then subjective is pertaining to or characteristic of an individual, personal and individual. So yeah, someone's point of view, the way an individual views a topic. Who wrote that?
Me.
Nailed it.
Yes.
Nicely done. So I know those are kind of wordy, but you two, you really got both of them. So facts, statistics, and not influenced by your own feelings about a topic. So what we're going to do next is try to identify those in the text. So I have two articles, and we're just going to go ahead and skim, and you're going to tell me if this is objective or subjective. This isn't too challenging, but we're going to look for examples of that language as well. So this first article came from the New York Times Student. If you've never heard of it, it's pretty cool. They have student-friendly articles. You're welcome. Student-friendly articles about issues that would be interesting to all of you. Did I give you two on accident? No? No? Okay, great. Does anyone want to start and read the first couple of lines? Yeah, go for it.
Watch the short video below of you want me to start that?
Yeah, let's skip the video since we don't have that capability in here.
Okay.
But the next part, right below that.
Okay. The ponytail forward cut through the rain in the defense and drove a low shot past the outstretched arm of the goalkeeper. The pinpoint strike, her 38th of the season, confirmed Andrea Gomez as the top scorer for her championship team. The boys Gomez left in her wake, though were not the first ones forced to retrieve one of her shots from their net. Gomez, 13, and her teammates had been confounding boys all season, playing so well that they're girls. I always try to show what soccer isn't just for boys, says Gomez.
So based on what we read, do you think that this article is opinion or fact? There's a lot of facts in here,
Also,
but it's also,
like, it's very fact. It has facts in it, but it also has like evidence of the narrator saying like she should be able to play or whatever, like her opinion.
yeah,
Sure.
so we're using evidence of both, right? We're using both subjective statements and objective statements to make a really strong argument, right? So what's an example of an objective statement that you can find? Yeah.
What did you say, objective?
Objective.
AEM took advantage of the Spanish Soccer Federation rule that allows clubs to field players of any sex, including mixed teams that combine boys and girls for junior league competition until age 14.
Yeah, that's great. Can you tell me why you said that was objective?
Well, it says that it's from a Spanish Soccer Federation rule, which is pretty official. And yeah, it's old rule.
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah.
But also in that sentence it says AEM took advantage of Spanish Soccer Federation, which is kind of subjective because someone might say that that is great that they did that or something like that. Which, I mean, I don't think that, but someone may. So it's subjective by saying, yeah.
Yeah, so it opens it up to someone's personal opinion, right? Really good job kind of picking out that word and figuring out that that is a matter of opinion, not a matter of fact. What about another subjective statement? Was anyone else able to find one? Yeah.
The one where it says like the pinpoint strike her 38th of the season confirmed she was the top scorer on the championship team. Because that's like a statistic.
So if it's a statistic, is it subjective or objective?
Objective.
Yes, objective, exactly right. So let's look for an example of subjective. Maybe it appeals to your emotions a little bit more. Yeah.
Or it says soccer isn't just for boys. If you're technically better, you can compensate for being perhaps physically weaker.
Yeah, I'd say that's a really strong example of a subjective statement because some people might disagree. Yeah.
In one of the lines here where Jose is talking, they say, to push these girls, we felt they had to play against boys because they need strong opponents. Like, that's kind of an opinion, like it's saying that boys are stronger than girls.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, and that's also
That's
his
subjective.
opinion too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very nicely done. You all totally nailed it. And so here's the second article. As you can guess, this one is going to be objective, not an opinion article. And I will have you all tell me why after we read. We're not going to read the whole thing. Maybe just a couple of these statistics. You're welcome. There you go. And there you go. So I'll actually go ahead and get it started. Starting with, experts worry that bad habits for dealing with stress learned early will carry over into adulthood. Teens across the USA are feeling high levels of stress that they say negatively affect every aspect of their lives, a new national survey suggests. Does anyone want a popcorn? Yeah.
Finding on more than 1,000 teens and almost 2,000 adults suggests that unhealthy behaviors associated with stress may start early and continue through adulthood. With 21% of adults reporting extreme stress levels, the survey says that with teens mirroring adults' high stress levels, they are potentially setting themselves up for future chronic stress and chronic illness. The report warns that teens are at a risk of a variety of physical and emotional ills and potentially shorter lifespans than their elders if they don't act to reverse their current trajectory of chronic illness, poor health, and shorter lifespans.
Nice. And then we'll popcorn maybe to one more. Yeah, Maya.
Our study this year gives us a window in looking at how early these patterns might begin, says clinical psychologist Norman Anderson, the association's CEO. The patterns of stress we see in adults seem to be occurring as early as the adolescent years. Stress-related behaviors such as lack of sleep, lack of exercise, poor eating habits in response to stress.
Okay. Great. Thank you so much for reading. So this one's pretty obvious that it's an objective-based article. What facts or statistics stood out to you? Yeah.
The second paragraph, more than a quarter, 27% say they experience extreme stress during the school year versus 13% in the summer. And then it says, and 34% expect stress to increase in the coming year. I was just like, that stood out to me, and I was like, wow, that's intense.
Yeah, so why do you think that stood out to you and was so intense? What about that statement really made you stop and think twice about it?
Just like, if you really put into consideration how many people that percentage is coming out of, like, that's a great big number of people that have that much stress.
Yeah, that's totally right. I feel the same way.
Also because, like, a lot of us probably could relate to that statement because was testing going on, it's stressful.
Yeah, so testing is something that's causing students at Madison to experience a lot of stress. And maybe you're thinking about what's going to happen next year, whether you're going to high school or starting 8th grade. You know, it's a lot to think about. Yeah, so great job, everyone. I think that's about as much time as we have. Thank you so much. Give yourselves a round of applause. Because you just nailed this 9th grade level lesson that I designed. So I have candy for you because you were so awesome.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And stickers if anyone wants them.